Hey there, my fearless Sigma ladies. You know what they say. If you're not part of the solution, you're probably part of the problem. And when a Sigma female suddenly cuts you off, trust me, it's not some petty drama. It's a power move. Today, we're uncovering 10 jaw-dropping, fresh-as-ever reasons why a Sigma female pulls the plug on people. These aren't your typical clichés. These are insights that'll make you think twice about how we operate and why we value our peace over people-pleasing. Oh, and before we dive into this deep well of truth, you know the drill. Hit that subscribe button and become a part of the unstoppable Sigma Ladies Squad. We're not just making noise, we're creating legacies. Let's get started. 1. The mirror effect moment. Have you ever looked at someone's behavior and thought, is this how they'll treat me one day? That's exactly how Sigma females see the world. We're hyper-aware of how people act in various situations, especially when it comes to how they treat others. Whether it's a rude comment to a barista, passive-aggressive behavior toward a co-worker, or a dismissive attitude toward strangers, Sigma females take note. Here's the thing. A Sigma female understands that behavior is a reflection of character, not just circumstance. If you're showing signs of being unkind, condescending, or even manipulative, she'll take it as a preview of what's to come. This mirror effect isn't just a theory, it's a survival mechanism. Sigma females don't wait around to be mistreated, they take action before the disrespect hits their doorstep. But it's not just about how you treat others, it's also about the energy you bring into her life. If your actions mirror negativity, jealousy, or pettiness, she won't give you the benefit of the doubt. She knows her peace is worth more than potential drama. The decision to cut you off might seem sudden, but trust me, it's been building over time as she's observed the reflection you project. A Sigma female values authenticity and kindness above all else. If your behavior consistently shows her that you lack these traits, she'll make a clean break. She doesn't believe in trying to change people or giving endless chances. Her loyalty is reserved for those who prove themselves worthy of it. Remember, the mirror never lies, and she won't stick around for a reflection she doesn't align with. 2. When they're a stealth saboteur. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come with grand gestures or overt acts of harm. It's the subtle digs, the underhanded comments, and the so-called helpful advice that undermines a Sigma female's confidence. These stealth saboteurs often think they can disguise their intentions under the guise of concern or humor, but a Sigma female sees through it all. For example, imagine a friend who constantly says things like, "Are you sure you can handle that?" or "I don't think that's really your style." While these remarks might seem harmless on the surface, they plant seeds of doubt. A Sigma female doesn't just hear words, she decodes the energy behind them, and if that energy feels off, she's out. What makes stealth saboteurs so insidious is their subtlety. They're not outright enemies, they're the ones who smile in your face while quietly trying to dim your light. They might seem supportive in public, but undermine your efforts in private. For a Sigma female, this duplicity is intolerable. She thrives on clarity and straightforwardness, and any hint of hidden agendas or jealousy is enough for her to walk away. It's also worth noting that Sigma females don't believe in prolonged confrontations. Instead of calling out the saboteur and engaging in endless arguments, she prefers a clean, quiet exit. She knows that addressing the issue often leads to more manipulation and deflection. By cutting ties, she's making a statement. I see what you're doing, and I won't be part of it. In the end, the Sigma female values people who uplift her, not those who subtly try to tear her down. She doesn't have the time or energy to play detective, deciphering whether someone's intentions are pure or not. If she senses even a hint of sabotage, she'll trust her instincts and move on without a backward glance. 3. Lack of emotional reciprocity. Relationships to a Sigma female are not transactional, but they're definitely built on mutual respect and emotional exchange. She gives what she expects in return, whether that's kindness, support, or simply effort. When she realizes she's in a relationship where she's always giving and rarely receiving, it doesn't sit right with her. Emotional reciprocity is more than just a nice-to-have. It's the foundation of every connection she values. Picture this. A Sigma female is always there for someone, listening to their problems, offering advice, and being the emotional anchor they lean on. But when she's the one who needs a listening ear or a word of encouragement, the same person suddenly goes radio silent or makes excuses. This lack of balance doesn't just frustrate her, it signals that the relationship is one-sided. And for someone as self-reliant as a Sigma female, that's a deal-breaker. The thing is, Sigma females aren't overly needy or dependent. They don't expect to be constantly coddled or praised. What they do expect, however, is an equal exchange of emotional energy. When she gives her time, her presence, and her care, she's doing it from a place of authenticity. If she starts to feel that her efforts are undervalued or taken for granted, she'll step back. And stepping back for a Sigma female often means stepping out for good. She also doesn't believe in chasing people for affection or validation. If someone isn't meeting her halfway, she won't beg or plead for their attention. Instead, she'll quietly cut ties and move on, knowing that her energy is better spent on relationships where she feels genuinely valued. To a Sigma female, emotional reciprocity isn't about keeping score, it's about mutual respect, effort, and care. 4. Inconsistency is a red flag. One of the biggest turn-offs for a Sigma female is inconsistency. Imagine dealing with someone whose mood, words, or actions change depending on the day. One moment, they're all in, supportive, present, and attentive. The next, they're distant, unavailable, or even dismissive. This kind of erratic behavior might seem harmless to some, but to a Sigma female, it's a flashing red light. Why? Because consistency represents reliability and trustworthiness. A Sigma female values people who mean what they say and say what they mean. She's not interested in guessing games or deciphering mixed signals. If someone's actions don't align with their words, she won't waste her energy trying to figure them out. This applies to all types of relationships, friendships, romantic connections, and even professional ones. If a friend constantly cancels plans last minute, a partner gives vague responses about their feelings, or a coworker is unreliable in delivering their part of a project, the Sigma female will start to distance herself. To her, inconsistency isn't just annoying, it's disrespectful. Furthermore, inconsistency can also signal deeper issues, such as a lack of commitment or sincerity. A Sigma female doesn't need a perfect person in her life, but she does need someone who is consistently present and genuine. She thrives on stability and authenticity, and anything less than that disrupts her peace. So, when faced with someone who can't seem to decide what role they want to play in her life, a Sigma female won't stick around waiting for them to figure it out. Instead, she'll take their inconsistency as an answer and move on to surround herself with people who bring clarity, not confusion. 5. Intellectual misalignment. A Sigma female craves deep, thought-provoking conversations and thrives in relationships that stimulate her intellect. Surface-level interactions and small talk are fine occasionally, but if that's all someone can offer, it's not enough to keep her engaged. She values people who challenge her perspectives, inspire new ideas, and keep her mind sharp. Now, this doesn't mean she looks down on those with different interests or knowledge levels. It's not about superiority, it's about compatibility. A Sigma female is on a lifelong journey of learning and growth. If someone doesn't share that curiosity or, worse, dismisses her enthusiasm for learning as overthinking or too much, she'll take it as a sign they're not meant to be part of her circle. Think about it. How often do you feel truly energized after a conversation with someone? For a Sigma female, those interactions are gold. If someone's contributions feel shallow, repetitive, or even dismissive of her ideas, it drains her. And once she realizes that the intellectual connection is lacking, she won't invest more time trying to force it. For the Sigma female, intellectual alignment is not just about sharing similar knowledge or skills. It's about energy. She needs people who can meet her at her level, challenge her in healthy ways, and support her hunger for growth. Without that, the relationship feels stagnant, and stagnation is something she has no time for. 6. Disrupting her focus. Sigma females are unapologetically driven. When they set their sights on a goal, they lock in and channel all their energy toward achieving it. This laser focus is what sets them apart, but it also means they're hyper-aware of people who disrupt their progress. If someone consistently pulls her away from her priorities, whether intentionally or not, they won't last long in her life. For example, imagine a friend who constantly invites her out when they know she's working on a project, or a partner who complains about her ambition and subtly tries to guilt her into spending more time on them instead of her goals. While others might overlook these disruptions, a Sigma female sees them for what they are: distractions from her mission. She's not heartless, though. She understands that relationships require time and effort, but if someone repeatedly shows they don't respect her need for focus by creating unnecessary drama, making unreasonable demands, or failing to understand her priorities, she'll start to see them as obstacles rather than allies. What's more, Sigma females don't waste time explaining themselves to people who don't get it. If she senses that someone isn't aligned with her drive or vision, she won't engage in drawn-out arguments or compromises. Instead, she'll quietly distance herself to protect her energy and stay on track. Her focus is non-negotiable, and she expects the people in her life to respect that. 7. Overstepping the invisible boundaries. Sigma females are known for their independence and strong sense of self. While they might not always vocalize their boundaries, they expect the people in their lives to recognize and respect them. Overstepping those boundaries, even unintentionally, is a fast way to lose your place in her world. Here's the thing: a Sigma female doesn't believe in micromanaging her relationships. She assumes that people will pick up on her cues and understand where her limits are. For example, she might subtly pull back when someone gets too pushy, or change the subject when a topic feels too invasive. If those cues are ignored and the behavior continues, she takes it as a sign of disrespect. Overstepping boundaries can take many forms. It could be a friend who constantly pries into her personal life, a partner who tries to control her decisions, or even a co-worker who fails to respect her time. Whatever the situation, the result is the same. Once her boundaries are crossed, she'll begin to detach. Sigma females also value autonomy, both in themselves and in others. If someone becomes too clingy, overly dependent, or demanding of her time and energy, it disrupts her sense of balance. And instead of trying to fix the situation, she'll choose to walk away. For her, protecting her boundaries isn't just about self-care, it's about preserving her identity and independence. 8. A pattern of emotional instability. Sigma females are naturally drawn to balance, both internally and externally. They've worked hard to cultivate emotional stability in their lives, and they expect the same from the people around them. When someone consistently brings unnecessary drama, chaos, or emotional instability into the picture, it creates a ripple effect that disrupts the Sigma female's inner peace. Imagine someone who constantly swings between extremes, happy one day, angry or withdrawn the next, without any explanation. While some might try to fix or accommodate this behavior, a Sigma female has no time for it. She recognizes that emotional instability often leads to manipulation, whether intentional or not. For instance, someone might create drama as a way to gain attention or play the victim to avoid accountability. A Sigma female sees through these tactics immediately. It's not that she lacks compassion, far from it. She understands that everyone has struggles, and she's often willing to offer support when it's genuinely needed. But when someone's emotional instability becomes a pattern, draining her energy and overshadowing her peace, she knows it's time to step away. Her priority is maintaining a balanced, harmonious environment, and she won't compromise that for anyone. Sigma females also understand the importance of emotional intelligence. They value people who can communicate openly and handle their emotions in a healthy way. If someone repeatedly lashes out, creates unnecessary conflict, or refuses to take responsibility for their actions, they won't stay in her life for long. For her, cutting off emotionally unstable individuals isn't about cruelty, it's about self-preservation. 9. They trigger her shadow side. As introspective and self-aware as Sigma females are, they're not immune to having their own weaknesses or vulnerabilities. These are often referred to as the shadow side, the parts of themselves they've worked hard to understand, manage, and improve. When someone consistently brings out those traits, whether it's anger, insecurity, or doubt, it becomes a serious problem. For example, a Sigma female might pride herself on staying calm and composed in stressful situations. But if someone constantly pushes her buttons, tests her patience, or drags her into unnecessary arguments, it can bring out a side of her she doesn't like to see. Similarly, if someone's behavior triggers old wounds or insecurities she's worked hard to overcome, it disrupts her sense of growth and progress. What's important to understand is that Sigma females don't run away from challenges. They face their shadow side head-on and do the work to heal and grow. However, they also recognize that some people are simply not good for their mental and emotional health. If someone repeatedly brings out negative emotions or behaviors in her, she'll take it as a sign that the relationship isn't healthy. This doesn't mean she blames the other person entirely. In fact, Sigma females are often quick to take responsibility for their own reactions and emotions, but they also know when to walk away for the sake of their own growth. For her, cutting someone off isn't about holding a grudge. It's about protecting the progress she's made and ensuring she stays on a path of self-improvement. 10. Nothing personal, just evolution. Here's a truth bomb. Sometimes it's not about you. A Sigma female's decision to cut someone off can be as simple as outgrowing the relationship. She's constantly evolving, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And while she values the connections she's built, she understands that not everyone is meant to walk every step of the journey with her. This might sound harsh, but to a Sigma female, it's a natural part of life. She views relationships through the lens of alignment. Do their goals, values, and energy still match hers? If the answer is no, she won't force the connection to continue. It's not about resentment or bad blood. It's about recognizing when a relationship has run its course. For instance, a Sigma female might drift away from a friend who no longer shares her interests or ambitions. Or she might end a romantic relationship that feels stagnant, even if there's no clear conflict. These decisions might confuse or hurt others, but for her, they're acts of self-respect. She refuses to hold on to relationships that don't support her growth or bring genuine joy. It's also worth noting that Sigma females don't end relationships with drama or fanfare. They prefer a clean, quiet exit, no drawn-out arguments or emotional goodbyes. In her mind, it's not about cutting someone off. It's about making space for new opportunities and connections that align with her current self. And while the other person might feel blindsided, the Sigma female knows she's making the best decision for her own evolution. All right, my fearless Sigma ladies, that's the raw, unfiltered truth about why we cut people off. Whether it's about protecting our peace, honoring our growth, or simply recognizing when a connection no longer serves us, the decision is always intentional and unapologetic. Remember this: you are the architect of your life. You have every right to decide who stays and who goes. Don't let guilt or societal expectations hold you back from putting yourself first. If you found this video empowering, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow Sigma ladies. Let's keep building this incredible community of strong, independent thinkers. Until next time, stay bold, stay brilliant, and stay unapologetically you. See you in the next one. Starfire.